There are generally two ways that people play chip shots. One of them is inconsistent and difficult. The other one is consistent and easy. Let's see if you can tell which one it is. One is the most common thing I see in lessons or playing with people. Option two. Which one would you prefer? Which one do you recognize in yourself? Let's find out. So I don't know if you recognize the difference there. I kind of exaggerated it, so I think you probably did. What is it? Well, people tend to, with chip shots, especially kind of higher handicappers or infrequent golfers, even people who are, perhaps 15 handicap, 12 handicap, they struggle because they don't understand that you have to play chip shots differently. Yes, there's continuity and sort of connections between the full swing, but you cannot set up to it like you're hitting a full small shot. And that's what people tend to do. What I see is too far from the ball, okay? Just generally too far from the ball, swinging a bit too long on the way back, kind of using hands and then decelerating. And that's the sort of look and feel that tends to happen, is sort of something like that, okay? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. And you can say, well, choose different clubs, do a bump and run or whatever. You're still going to struggle with that kind of technique because it's not a full mini swing. There's too much sort of timing related there, right? Now, the thing you want to do isn't as extreme as other teachers might lead you to believe, okay? So why is this bad? Well, it gives you the inconsistencies. It's hard to time. The bodies are not working in harmony with the arms. It's just sort of out of sync. So it's very difficult to gauge distances. You just don't have a reliable sort of stock shot, okay? Do you struggle around the greens? Does that seem a little bit like, okay, yeah, I feel like I sort of decelerate or flip into it? Do you find that you just hit too many duff shots when really you shouldn't be? And you don't quite understand why? Let me know below. So what do we do instead? Really, really easy. What we're going to do is a couple of things. We're going to stand closer to the ball, okay? We are going to move 60% of the weight on the front foot. We're going to stand closer to the ball. Why? Because we want the bottom of the club head, okay? We don't want it to be digging in. If you're too far away from the ball, the heel digs in and sort of turns it over. Not only does it dig it in this way, so it digs it in this way, and you get that sort of runny sort of chip shot, and you don't quite know why. That's why. So what I want to do is give you less sort of friction, as it were, and we are going to raise the shaft up so we're a little bit steeper, so there's less friction this way, okay? What we're going to try and do is cut the grass under the ball. That's all we're trying to do, just bounce that club and cut the grass. That's our only sort of task when it comes to chipping. Yes, we want the distance control, but as far as contact, that's all we want. So we're going to raise that shaft up, we're going to stand a little bit closer to it, and then comes the technique of feeling like, well, there's the mindset of feeling like we're brushing the grass, okay? But how do we get a repeatable action? We want to try and maintain this triangle that we have at setup on the backswing and on the through swing, okay? We have to sort of turn and sort of rotate through the ball, so it's not just hands and arms and flipping this way. We want it to be as reliable as possible. Jason Day did this, but all the best chippers in the world keep it really simple, so you've got that foundation. And that's why this drill is perfect. There we go. Grab a towel, put it under your armpits. What that's going to do is create unison between my chest, okay, my core, and my upper body with no manipulation. Now, I still have very supple wrists. I can really feel the weight of the club. It's not rigid, all right? That's where people get this wrong. They sort of think, I've got to kind of do a cricket shot like that. It's not. It's smooth. It's fluid. But we are turning and rotating the core in this manner. and the towel just sort of enhances that feel. So you can practice at home that movement, okay? Practice at home that movement even with or without balls, and you can just get the right sort of strike, the right technique, and you can practice with different clubs, different type of shots, but get the foundation right. The beauty of this, it works on every department of the short game as well. Shots out of the rough, shots on the fringe, bunker play, that sort of connected feel. So you really can practice this and utilize it everywhere. Now, the feeling that you're going to want to have to really develop this is keeping that towel in place, but one of the keys is to ensure that you don't just stall the body, okay? You don't just want to be using the hands. You want to make sure that you kind of rotate all the way through if you can, okay? We still want to have a full rotation because that's where the bad shots come in from. So even if you're playing various different shots, you've got to try and make sure that you finish through, okay? It's less about hitting at the ball. It's about brushing that grass and getting through it. So even if we try from here, you can use the towel or not, and I'm picking up a different club. Let's say we've got this shot here. I'm just going to use a little 9-iron, all right? I'm going to use a 9-iron. Now, actually, that's probably a bit too much like a putt. Let's go to here. So we wouldn't putt this, but we've got a 9-iron, right? Do I just use the hands? I definitely don't stand like this, so I follow the procedure. I stand closer to the ball, I lift the shaft up, and I'm staying connected. But I'm going to make sure that my hands finish in front of my sort of hip here, that I'm turning through and up, because that's going to stop me from hitting down and duffing it. I'm brushing the grass to lift up. And then from there, we can just do a nice little easy chip shot that's going to give you the reliable contact that you want. And that's the key. We just need that foundation. You just need that simplicity. So use the towel, stay connected, but get through and lift up. Whether you feel it in your core, whether you feel it in your chest, but passive hands, okay? Passive hands are going to work beautifully. So play around with it, have fun, but be connected. Follow those very simple tips for chipping, and you have got the foundation set to be a very good short game player. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.